Well, here we are. We're on St. David's Lane, and we're at the Kelly Adirondack Center of Union College. This is an amazing place if you've never been here, and I have to admit, I had never been here. This is an amazing place to visit. If you can see over there, you can see the house of Paul Schaefer. He built that. It was built in 1935, although it was built as a Dutch replica. And if you go inside, you're going to find that some of those beams are from 1700s, and they're 300 years older than that. So this is an amazing place. They have an amphitheater here, and there are gardens, and there's exhibitions of photographs, and the Audubons are fully invested in this community. And there's a path of 111 acres that you can walk on. Oh, please come and visit. This is a wonderful place. It's called the Kelly Adirondack Center of Union College. We're here at the Kelly Adirondack Center of Union College. This is an amazing place. I have to admit, I lived probably less than a mile away, and I didn't even know it existed. We're so happy to be here today to learn about it, and you will be happy too when you find out what this place has to offer. It's a wonderful facility. It's on, how many acres?
The house itself is on 2 acres of land, but it abuts the rice sanctuary, and that's 111 acres
111
of
acres. I
trails.
couldn't believe it when I saw the number. And your position here, Margie, what is that?
I'm the coordinator,
Okay.
so I plan the events here and plan the exhibits and help out the students with their research in the Adirondack Research Library.
Well, and the one thing, when I went to your website to look, I was amazed. You have a large collection of books. You've got Audubon. You're a bird, you know, the people with the Mohawk Hudson bird. I mean, this is an amazing space, and it's an amazing learning facility.
It is, absolutely. You know, we've collected so much information on the Adirondacks to share with the Union community and the wider public.
Yeah.
And we're really looking for every opportunity to do that, and whether it's through programming or exhibits. We offer for the students on campus, we have summer research fellowships.
Nice.
So we're really looking for every opportunity to reach out to the Union community and the wider public.
And you have gardens. Of course, right now we're filming this. There's no gardens, but when you see this, there will be gardens, because you're going to be seeing this in July. But one of the things that I noticed looking out the window is an amphitheater. I would have thought of an amphitheater out here. What do you do there?
The amphitheater is actually made of Catskill bluestone, and we use it for some of our programming. So we actually had the Adirondack Shakespeare Company here a couple of years ago.
Really?
And
I didn't
they
know
did
that.
Hiawatha for children.
Oh, great.
So they were running around with drums all through the audience. It was really a fantastic experience. And last year we had a group of girls here who they were instrumentalists, and the one girl was practicing her violin out there. I still get goosebumps.
I was going to
thinking about
say,
it.
you probably got goosebumps.
Absolutely, with the forest behind her. It's just the most exquisite space out there, and you know, it's not good for programs if you have a PowerPoint presentation, but if you have, but if
You don't come here. Well, but you do have a room here.
We have a room here for that type of thing too. But for outdoors, for musical events and theater things, it really is a phenomenal space. We're so lucky to have it.
Well, and when I walked in, well, first of all, you have an exhibit here of bird photos. Tell me about that, because the photos are incredible.
So our current exhibit is of the Audubon winners from their last year's photography contest. It's a traveling exhibit, so we've only got it for 3 weeks.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, and it's part of a series of exhibits that we offer people. We try to do one exhibit each year of things from the Adirondack Research Library. Our next exhibit that will be on this summer is the Kay Flickinger Dockstetter exhibit. She was a Niskayuna native who moved to Galway, and she was 46 or number 41. So she was very early on, and she took photographs, and a lot of photographs. We have about 700 of them.
They're in your collection.
They're in our collection. They're all 2 by 3 inches, but we've blown
Are
them
they the
up.
photos or are they slides?
There are photos, and we actually have the negatives too.
Oh,
So
negative.
and she wrote on the back, thank you, for where exactly the places were that she took the photographs and who was in the photographs. So we've blown them up.
I wish everyone would do that.
I know.
Of course, now with digital.
Yeah. So we've blown them up. Some of them are 36 by 48 inches, really big. They just really deserve it. The landscapes are just phenomenal, and her pictures of people are just unbelievable.
The idea that we have such, like, it's almost like a bird sanctuary. I mean, I live not far from here, and we get the egrets, and we get the great blue herons, and we get a plethora of birds, you know, that you can hardly, I'm not a bird identifier. I can tell a blue jay from a cardinal, but some of the other little ones with little speckles and stuff, I'm not sure what they are.
Absolutely. Well, tomorrow morning we have a Birding for Beginners walk. One of the presidents of the local Audubon has offered to take us on a Birding for Beginners walk through the Bryce Preserve.
Idea.
So that's the kind of thing that we're looking to offer people. I know a little bit about birds, but I would like to know more about birds, and offer all different, wide spectrum of opportunities.
So, I mean, this is happening now, but I'm sure that those classes will go on
Absolutely.
forever.
Absolutely.
Because you want people to learn about them. Now, my first question is, how did Kelly get into this?
So then,
I'm going to ask about.
I'm going to start back in 1908, if that's all right. So
Sure.
In 1908, Paul Schaefer was born, and
Yeah.
he's really the impetus behind this whole project.
And we all know Paul Schaefer. He was the one with the seating of the cloud.
That was Vincent Schaefer.
Oh, that was
right?
Vincent
That was
Schaefer,
his
right?
brother.
Yeah.
Yep. So Paul Schaefer was a.
Sorry, I mixed him up.
It's all good. Paul Schaefer was a builder here in
architect,
Niskayuna,
yeah.
but he was also very interested and very invested in the Adirondacks. And Audubon actually named him one of the top 100 conservationists of the 20th century.
Right here.
Right here in Niskayuna. So
Yeah.
he built this home himself in 1935.
It's an amazing home. You really have to come see it.
It's absolutely a beautiful home. And so when he passed away, the Association for the Protection of the Adirondacks, which he had been the vice president of for 50 years, purchased the home with the idea of keeping it as a tribute to him and using it as their offices.
Right.
And when it wasn't big enough, they added on a beautiful addition in 2004.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, and it also houses the Adirondack Research Library.
Yeah, I saw the
which
library in here.
We're
yeah.
so fortunate
Yeah.
to have. So in 2011, Union College purchased the facility, and it was named after John Kelly because he was a great facilitator.
Now we got the name.
That's
now we
where
got the
Kelly
connection
comes
there.
in. It's a huge enigma. Why would there be an Adirondack Center in Niskayuna, which is not in the Adirondacks? It's owned by Union College, and
It
it
is
used to
called
be Paul
Kelly.
Schaefer's house, and it's called Kelly. So that's the history behind the whole
And
story.
you have another one, the rice.
The Rice Sanctuary in the back, that's right. It's 111 acres, so there are 4 main trails, but they're all interwoven, so you can walk as little as or as much as you want. The 111 acres back there belongs to the Hudson Mohawk Bird Club.
Okay, so they own that.
Yeah, but there's a parking lot here at the center, where you can start the trails, and really, it's a lovely walk in the woods.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a 46er to do any of it. And there are maps right at the trailhead for you.
Yeah, so that you can walk through there. Is it a good place to bring your kids to walk through?
Oh,
that so they
absolutely.
can are things identified? Because sometimes if you walk in there's like sometimes a tree is identified so people know, that's a maple.
That's right. If you take the brochure with you, there is some information in there about exactly what you're seeing, so you'll know what you're looking at.
Of course, you can't identify the birds because they fly around.
That's right.
They're not
That's right.
too stable when it comes to that. Who's your audience?
So it depends. We have a really wide and varied audience. Besides the students and the professors from campus, the local...
Maybe use it as a learning and also as a meeting place.
That's right, that's right. We've got the local community members. We have people who are interested in Paul Schaefer homes. We have people who are interested in researching the history of the Adirondacks or the cultural aspects of the Adirondacks. And grades 4 and 8 now have New York State history as a part of their Common Core.
I'm so glad to hear that.
And they study New York State, so this would be a perfect place to bring students.
Even though it isn't in the Adirondacks. We know
That's
that
right.
it's not in the Adirondacks.
That's right.
But so what?
But so convenient, right here in
It's
this
here.
area.
Maybe you can't get to the Adirondacks, but you're in here.
Absolutely.
Paul Schaefer built this house in 1935. But some of the beams and things are older than that. Is that correct?
That's right. The beams in the home A lot of them were taken from an old Dutch barn in Rotterdam that was built in 1701.
Okay.
And the wood from the beams is dated to be from trees that were 300 years old at that time. So it's really remarkable. And so Paul Schaefer was again ahead of himself in the reuse, reduce, recycle. So many things.
I know.
The little treats that you'll find around the house are things that he's taken from old Dutch barn. He really had such a respect for the barns.
Yeah, and it's an amazing building, because if you think it was built in 1935, you know, we know what the houses look like in 35. This doesn't look like a house that was built in 1935 at all.
That's right. He was really going for that look that the Dutch
He was
settlers,
going for the look.
type of the home
Yeah.
they would go.
And when I drove up, it was like, oh my gosh. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes your breath away.
It really does. It's such a gem.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
spoiled to get to come to work here every day.
You get to work here every day, you lucky person, you. Tell us about some of the, how do you get like concerts? If suppose somebody would like to give a concert. Would that be something they could call you and say, I'd like to give a concert. I don't want any money, but I would just love to be able to fill the woods with my music.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm the person to contact for anything
Okay.
like that, or if they're interested in coming to concerts or getting on our mailing list. We don't send out junk, we only send out information
Right.
about our programs and our exhibits. So we're happy to send the
This
information.
is great, yeah.
Give you up-to-date information, and on our website too.
Yeah, and of course, right now we're we're filming this in April, which is kind of been a dreary month for us. But you can almost feel it today, especially, that things are going to start blooming. You have gardens here. Are your gardens special, or are they?
They are actually. They were planted by the Niskayuna Garden Club, and they actually won awards for them.
Okay.
And between, we have Mike Gann, who works for us, and takes very good care of them, and the Union College facilities people are just amazing. And they're as devoted to the house as we all are. And people, once they come here, they'll recognize. We get so many students coming here, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. I would love to live in a house like this.
I know. Well, that's exactly what my care person said. He says, I'd love to live here.
It's
I said, I don't think they'll
remarkable.
let you.
We get all different kinds of people, and the house really speaks to people.
Yeah. But it's really a very good, excuse me. So we found that being here and being in this environment and feeling almost that we are in the Adirondacks. I know that we aren't in the Adirondacks, but the feel of this house is Adirondack. When you look at the paintings, well, today's paintings, but there's going to be other paintings. They're going to give us that same feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's such a great opportunity to learn more about the Adirondacks, so that when you go into the park, you'll have a fuller experience. You'll know a little bit more about the culture, a little bit more about the history, a little bit more about the animals.
Yeah, and I've got a list of your events coming up, and I'm glad to be on your mailing list, and I want to start attending some of your wonderful events and spreading the word.
Excellent. Thank you so
We've
much.
been speaking with Margie, and how do you pronounce your last name?
Amodio.
Amodio. And she is the coordinator here, and is doing such a marvelous job on a place that I didn't know existed, and I want to give her a big shout out for doing such great, just having such great place to work and to have people come and visit, and I'm sure the exuberance that they feel after they've been through here is just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ann.